Thank you, Jean. Hello, everyone. My name is Corinna Whiteaker-Lewis. I serve as your Director of Religious Education. My pronouns are she, her. The piano music you just heard is your signal to settle into your seats and prepare for the start of our worship service. Before we begin, I have a few quick announcements. I would like for all of us to take a deep breath and have a moment of silence as I have some disturbing news to share with you. No one was injured, but our sister church in Plano, I'm trying to not get tearful, was attacked last night with a firebomb at their front doors, which damaged the doors, everything in front of it, and their foyer, but everyone is safe. But please keep in your mind that community as they come to church this morning, or cannot go to church this morning. So I just want us all to take a deep breath. Have healing thoughts and prayers for our friends in Plano. I also want to point out to you your handout. There are some announcements there of things that are happening in our community that you want to be aware of. I also have joyful news. I am so happy to learn that over-the-counter birth control was for the first time has been approved by the FDA, and what a life-saving and life-changing thing that will be for vulnerable people in a place like Texas. I am happy to share with you that the ACLU is suing the state over SB 14 that criminalizes gender-affirming care for children. So that story is not over. And I am thrilled to tell you that Greta Gerwig, who is the director of the fabulous Barbie movie that is out right now, is a Unitarian Universalist. And if you Google Greta Gerwig UU, you will find an article, an interview with her in our UU World magazine from some years ago. So those are some positive things that we can be thinking about. Is there anyone else among our leadership who has an announcement to share with the congregation this morning about what's going on in our church community? All right, we will now begin.
I hope that everyone was able to hear that. Good morning, and welcome to San Gabriel Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether you are here in the sanctuary or watching at home, we are so glad that you are here. My name is Kenneth Witherspoon, and my pronouns are he, him, and spoon. Many years ago, I was an active photographer for social justice events in Georgetown, and I discovered that there was always a group of lovely ladies wearing the same T-shirts and carrying signs. They introduced themselves and invited me to join them at their church. I was polite but skeptical, as my past with places of faith has always been, shall we say, not the best. A second time they approached me, and they were so full of righteous anger, love, and joy that I was moved, though admittedly not enough to accept their invitation. I was photographing a friend, Rachel Jean Rowe, who used to be a member of San Gabriel, and she said, "Spoon, meet my friends, and you should join us this Sunday." Now, I come from a family full of Southern Baptist ministers, and one thing I learned from them was that God don't hit you upside your head no more than 3 times to make a point, and then he stops wasting his time. So I came, I was welcomed, and found a place I am pleased to call my spiritual home. San Gabriel is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. There are over 1,000 UU congregations in the United States. All of us together are working for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Sustaining each other here in the community is our first step down the long road of that important work. If you would like to know more about us and learn about upcoming events, please go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. To light the chalice, please know that whoever you are, wherever you are from, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Let us greet this day in song. Our opening hymn is "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple," number 16 in the Gray Hymnal, but the lyrics will also be projected. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able. We will now light our chalice with a poem by Danez Smith, a young African-American poet whom I think you will be hearing from in the future years, possibly months. It's called A Little Prayer. Let ruin end here. Let him find honey where there was once a slaughter. Let him enter the lion's cage and find a field of lilacs. Let this be the healing, and if not, let it be.
I arise in the morning, torn between the desire to improve the world and a desire to enjoy the world. This makes it hard to plan the day. That is a quote from E.B. White, the author of Charlotte's Web. And UU minister Richard Gilbert writes in response, I rise in the morning torn between the desire to save the world or to savor it, to serve life or to enjoy it, to savor the sweet taste of my own joy or to share the bitter cup of my neighbor, to celebrate life with exuberant step, or to struggle for the life of the heavy laden. What am I to do when the guilt at my bounty clouds the sky of my vision, when the glow which lights my every day illumines the hurting world around me? To savor the world or to save it? God of justice, if there such be, take from me the burden of my question. Let me praise my plenitude without limit. Let me cast from my eyes all troubled folk. No, you will not let me be. You will not stop my ears to the cries of the hurt and the hungry. You will not close my eyes to the sight of the afflicted. What is that you say? To save, one must serve. To savor, one must save. The one will not stand without the other. Forgive me in my preoccupation with myself. In my concern for my own life, I had forgotten. Forgive me, God of justice. Forgive me and make me whole. I say it is a both and not an either or. Here at San Gabriel, we have gratitude for the beauty of this amazing world. And through that gratitude, we are moved to work together to right the wrongs in this not just an amazing world, but also hurting world. Welcome to worship this morning.
Today, let us take joy in reaffirming our chosen community by reading our covenant together. Please read after me. The words will be projected. As members of our beloved community, we agree to act together in loving kindness to promote justice, equity, and compassion. We will seek first to understand and then to be understood.
By being generous in time, talent, and treasure, we promise to work together in support of our nation.
We will welcome the diversity among us with genuine curiosity, acceptance, and empathy.
We commit to resolve differences by speaking directly to each other or through communication.
We promise to work toward forgiveness whenever we fall short of expectations.
Moving forward, we honor our past, embrace change, and joyfully celebrate the success of our community.
And now it's time for our Wonder Box. Corinna will do it. I have nothing to do with it.
That's quite the disclaimer, Spoon. I swear it's not scary. If there are some people in the back who would like to help us figure out what's inside the Wonder Box today, they are more than welcome to come forward and make some guesses. This is a time where we help each other learn and grow by hearing from one another. Does anybody want to shout out what they think might be in here today?
Multiple court dates.
Multiple court dates. I didn't know those had a sound. I'm glad to hear that now. Jewelry. I hear jewelry. That could be. Beads, wooden beads. These are some logical guesses. Any other guesses what might be in here? Puzzles. Oh, yeah. Are we ready to open it up and see what's inside? All right. We've got multiple things. I'll start with this. Well, maybe I should have started with these. Somebody was correct when they said jewelry. I've got, okay, yeah, some heritage glasses for me, and a gold medal. What does this make you think of? What? Dress up? Halloween? I can't get it over. Anything else? This isn't working. Anything else? Yeah. Well, let's see what our story might be about today. And if you would like to come close and look at the pictures while I get this off of me, come on. Oh, there was a phone in here, a banana phone, too.
The Me I Choose to Be, written by Natasha Tarpley, art by Regis and Karan Bethencourt, published by Little Brown and Company. Some may think they know who I am, but here's what you must understand. My creativity and curiosity flow without end, and if I meet an obstacle, I just begin again. I am a planet, a limitless galaxy, and I am the me I choose to be. I am hope passed down through generations. I am a bridge builder connecting people and nations. I am a weaver of words that quickly take flight and stretch into stories fluttering off into the night. I am a conjurer, imagining realms that aren't yet there. I am a maker, a creator, shaping a new world we all can share. My creativity and curiosity flow without end, and if I meet an obstacle, I just begin again. I am a planet, a limitless galaxy, and I am the me I choose to be. I am joyful as a bubbly, rushing river. I am sad as a trickling tear. I am a tiny bird watching the world from afar. I am a friend who loves to be near. And there's something else about me, maybe harder to see. I am not that cool. I don't always know what to say, and every so often I go the wrong way. Sometimes it seems I have two left feet, but that just means I am a free spirit. I move to the rhythm of my own heartbeat. I am a star dancing across the night sky. I am the night sky, unnoticed as stars fly by. It's hard not to care when people pretend you aren't there. But then I remember. My creativity and curiosity flow without end, and if I meet an obstacle, I just begin again. I am a planet, a limitless galaxy, and I am the me I choose to be. I am a superhero, yet unnamed. I am laughter that falls like rain, making room for joy to grow. I am a gardener planting dreams the world will know. I am wind with the strength to bend trees. I am light traveling the universe with ease. I am the winding road to a fantastic adventure. I am a home where love lives at the center. I am all these things and more, you see, because I am the me I choose to be. The end.
Those photos were quite striking, weren't they? I love seeing these beautiful pictures of children, of Black children in particular. We must remember that representation matters. I regularly suggest that parents look through the books in their children's rooms and see who is depicted in those books, because without intervention, children of any ethnicity internalize that whiteness is better by the age of 4. In this book, I love the artful way the world of possibilities before each child is captured through imaginative costume. We often look at young people with most of their life ahead of them and marvel at the choices and opportunities they have before them. To be a maker, a creator, a writer, a bridge builder, a free spirit, a friend. The emphasis of this book, however, is personal agency, the me I choose to be. My creativity and curiosity flow without end, and if I meet an obstacle, I just begin again. I am a planet, a limitless galaxy, and I am the me I choose to be. This is a potent message, particularly for children who are often saddled with familial and societal expectations. A potent message, particularly for children of color in a world that privileges whiteness. It is actually quite a demand that we put on young people when we say they are the future. Children have personhood. They have inherent worth and dignity as children, not just as future adults. They deserve a present that respects their worthiness by protecting their self-determination. The metaphor that comes to mind for me is of a child as a light to be lit rather than a cup to be filled. There is much we can do as a faith community to support a child as the full human they are right now by welcoming and including them in all we do, particularly in this sacred time when we are all in community together. They have so much to learn from us and we from them. More than anything else, not what was said or taught, we remember how a person made us feel. So yes, when I see a child, a young person, we often think of how much life they have ahead of them and all the opportunities and possibilities to come, and hopefully lots and lots of choices. But I also propose to you that new opportunities and new possibilities are always there, no matter our age. We just need to recognize them. Unitarianism is a faith that honors that choice and free will, much in that we all chose to be here this morning. Our attendance here this morning is not in response to a demand with which we must comply in order to receive salvation. Instead, we chose to join a community that values that very choice. And our Universalist theology recognizes that we are all held in love, just as we are when we show up here. Each one of us was born whole and holy, and we choose to honor that by celebrating our differences, our diversity. We choose to respect that diversity by being in relationship to each other through a mutual covenant that defines what that relationship looks like, as we read aloud today. I believe it is in those choices to be in relationship, held in love, grounded in covenant, that any salvation lies. We save one another. Let us not waste the opportunities, the possibilities, the choices we are given. Let us recognize that throughout our life, new opportunities and possibilities are always being presented to us, not just when we are young, but at every stage of life. The freedom to choose is a responsibility, and one of the ways we honor that responsibility is by educating ourselves so we make the best choices possible. In the context of our Unitarian Universalist faith, that means making choices that reflect our values. Values that reflect love at the center of everything we do and are expressed through acts of generosity, working towards equity and justice, and even though we were born fully whole and holy, a willingness to change and be changed. Because as Delia Steinberg-Guzman reminds us, it is not knowledge that transforms us and the world, but the action we take on what we know. Today's sermon is titled Finding Our Center and was summarized in this way by me some weeks ago. Being able to trust others is in many ways dependent on being able to trust yourself. Let's explore how our UU faith grounds us individually and what that means for our mission together as a faith community. Trusting others begins with trusting ourselves, to know oneself. How do you find your center, so to speak? When I hear that word, center, I think not so much of an essential self, but of a mindful balance. That at my center is a desire to balance opposing things, to balance my own wants and needs and desires with that of the world I inhabit, the people around me, my friends and family, my partner in life. I find this balance to be crucial because I do so strongly believe in our interdependence, and that as I care for others, I care for myself. That I do not feel whole unless I have a care for others. And if I am not caring for myself, then I cannot care for others, at least not for long. It is truly intertwined and inextricable. But that balance is hard to find, and I regularly fail at finding it. Life is imperfect, and that is something that I must accept too. I appreciate the exhortation of Reverend Gilbert to not have my ears stopped to the cries of the hurt and the hungry, and then I cannot be whole without service to the greater good. But life is not a sprint, and it is not even a marathon. It is a relay race. It is said that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So we take rest and we pass the baton. There are times when I will be the hurting one, so I ask you for help in the race and pass the baton. And that is so much easier to do when we are in community with others who are ready to take that baton from your hand. Is this the me I choose to be in relationship with others, to make a choice to be here now in community with you? Yes, for me, I think it is. Our new president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, asks of us, immerse yourself unapologetically in what it means to be Unitarian Universalist these days. Then go out into the world and live knowing that your faith matters. May the poetry of our hearts set us free. It matters that you are able to define well for yourself and for others what it means to say you are a Unitarian Universalist. As Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, our most recent UUA president, told us so often, this is no time for a casual faith. And for us here in Texas, we know this. We know the state actively seeks to harm and erase certain people, whether they be poor or disabled or seeking refuge or persons of color or trans, or wanting control over their own body, or any other number of marginalized identities. And we offer welcome. We do that here. We offer sanctuary. We offer solidarity and a willingness to fight for what is right. Because we put love at the center, and justice is what love looks like in public. When we say our vision at San Gabriel is to build beloved community, that's what we mean. Take a pause for a minute with that. That was a lot that I just shared with you. Thank you so much to everyone who is here for the first time today and hearing this message and these words for the first time. We're going to pause and take a moment for reflection on this and how we as UUs create sanctuary for all who need it, who cannot find it elsewhere. Deep breaths. How can we support each other in deepening the journey and loving one another all the more? Certainly one way is by listening to each other as we do in our ritual of sharing of joys and gratitudes, concerns and sorrows. And I am sorry that we do not have as many tables as we needed this morning. There's definitely one table free up here if people would like to come forward, because after joys and sorrows, we will be doing some things as groups in our tables. So since we are already grouped around tables, we could turn to each other and share in this spiritual practice of sharing our joys and sorrows with each other. I first do want to lift up again, for those of you who were not here when I announced it, that we have deep pain in our UU community right now and are sending healing thoughts and prayer to the church in Plano, Community UU, which received a hateful attack last night and a firebombing at their building. Everyone is safe, no one is hurt, but there was an explosive device and an accelerant placed at their front doors, which damaged the building in that immediate area. So we send out love and support and deep healing thoughts to that community. I also want to lift up the grief we may feel as our home, this entire planet, experiences the last 15 days as the 15 hottest days on record. Let us not despair, but be even more activated for the climate justice we need to survive. And I pray that the governor is stopped in his evil acts of torture at the border, and that all those who seek refuge find it. Deep breaths, it has been a hard week. So we settle into our seats. Let us give each other the gift of attention. We invite stillness in this moment and a time for sharing how you are feeling, what is on your heart, what joys or gratitudes you want to lift up, and what pain or concern you want to ease through sharing. We can create a circle of caring together. You can share at your tables now, and if there's something that you would want to make sure that is shared with the folks watching at home, please let me know. You can turn to your neighbor as well. One last deep cleansing breath, and exhale. For the joys shared, we join together in celebration. For the sorrows and concerns, we feel deep empathy and compassion. For all that remains unspoken, may the caring of the community offer a space of deep kindness and care.
As a meditation on the joys and sorrows we have just heard, let us sing hymn number 1057, Go Lifted Up, from the gray hymnal. Jean will play it through once before we start. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able. The lyrics will be projected.
This table right up here is really crying out for 5 people to come forward and sit right here so you can have discussion. I'm thinking I'm going to call out names like John and Diane and Bob and anyone else who would like to come forward. This is when I put on my hat as your religious educator. I hope we can have some discussion now. And if this is your first time with us, you can have a pass, but we also would love to hear your thoughts. We're going to try and help us define what Unitarian Universalism means to us. So first off, I'd like us to take a look at our mission and vision statements. And I think we have a slide for that. Yeah. And it just says, our vision is that we are building beloved community where all are valued. And that our mission is that we are a congregation that welcomes all, promotes personal and spiritual growth, and works for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. And I would just like a brief show of hands. Are we meeting these statements well? If you think we are meeting these statements well, raise your hand. All right. Or could we be doing better? We can always be doing better. Or are we not doing them at all? So I would say the vast majority of us think it's a path, right? It's something, these are aspirational statements. And so in some ways, we're never going to fully do them, but it's something that we do with intention. And Keith Hutchison, who regularly updates our marquee outside, shared with me that those marquee messages are what attracted him to San Gabriel. And I think, was it Mimi who said the same thing, that she was driving by and decided? Or Linda, or was it you? I can't remember who. And so I ask you this, and this is what the index cards are for on your tables. What would you put on the marquee? What does the world need to know about us? And that might help you decide for your own self what Unitarian Universalism means to you. So what would you put on the marquee? And remember, it has to fit on the marquee. This could be something that's relevant to our current situation in Texas, in the world. It could be something about us. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And then I have another question after that. So this is not everything. What would you put on the marquee? For folks at home, please email me at dre@sangabrieluu.org to tell me what it is you want on the marquee. Does anybody want to shout out what they would put on our marquee? Frank?
This is you, where we get to know you and you and you.
Love it. And if I'm not joking, these things are going on the marquee. A lot of these are going to go on our marquee. What else? What else do we have? Any others? Trying to do better. Love it. It's a journey. We are trying to do better. Yes. You are welcome. All are welcome. All are welcome. All A-L-L really big. Yes. Love lives here. Beautiful. Let your freaky faith fly. I love it. We got some alliteration there. See, this is called crowdsourcing. All right, so your next question, your next thing. As Spoon shared, he found out about us through folks wearing our yellow Side with Love shirts when we showed up to witness and support and protest in the community. So now I ask you, and this is what the white sheets of paper are for, how can we show up in our community? What do you think we should be doing now in this moment in our community? Where should we be wearing our yellow shirts? Chew on that for a minute. All right, does anybody want to share where they've worn a yellow shirt before? Oh, I see HEB right here. Need to be wearing those yellow shirts at HEB. Anyone else have an idea of where we should be wearing our shirts? What we should be doing in our community? When you go walking in the morning in your neighborhood. Yes, Frank. Anytime you are around the Confederate statue. I hear that, and we have done that multiple times, have we not? Yes, we have. Oh, yeah. Or the Red Poppy Festival. Yeah, different parades. Yeah. Need to get ourselves out there so people know us.
Or just once a week when you go somewhere.
Just wear it once a week. If we had bumper stickers, would you put a bumper sticker on your car about San Gabriel? Some yes, some no. So yesterday our UUA regional staff offered a training here on how to be more welcoming, specifically about how to greet newcomers to our services. It was a greeter training. And 5 folks on our membership team were able to attend, and I know they were given a lot to think about. I know we were all given a lot to think about, and also about new ways of greeting folks. We know that so many Texans who are vulnerable in our state, for them, our worship services and our community can be a place of sanctuary. And Reverend Jamie and I have been discussing the new church year that began just this past month. Well, actually now. It started in July. Our new church year goes from July 1 through June 30th. And so just in the same way that we are thinking about changing how we do our greeting and our welcoming, we are thinking about making changes to our worship services too. You might see more Sundays that are kind of like this, like there might be one Sunday a month that's more RE, religious education, or there might be a full meal, a full lunch served here once a month after service. So there's lots of different things that we want to try and do, but I would also love to hear from you. If there is one thing that you would change about our worship services, what would that be? So think on that for a second, because I want that feedback too, as we experiment for a couple months with changing things. So, and you know, what would you change? What thing comes to mind about our worship services that you might want to see differently? Think on that. All right, does anybody have an idea they want to share? What they would like to see during worship service? Yes. Okay. Okay. So outside speakers. One of the things we are thinking about is maybe we would have a social justice Sunday once a month where a person would share about their organization and give us something to do right away. John?
More congregants share their beliefs.
So have testimonials from folks come forward and talk about their journey to Unitarian Universalism?
Or their journey, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Any other ideas? Yes, Joe? More music. How did I know you would say that? More music, more musicians, differing types of music, different people playing music. Yeah. Anything else? Learning UU history, learning about our UU ancestors. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Rev Jay and I are going to meet again to talk about some things. We're going to talk with the board about what we want to do. I think it will be an experiment through December. So we'll try these new things for a while. I trust y'all that we will do this in a way that holds us in love, that we ask questions, and that we understand we're doing this so that mission and vision are at the center of what we're trying to do. That we have relevance and importance and purpose in Georgetown. And that's what will bring us back to that beloved community that we are trying to build. And that we choose the me or the we that we want to be. All right. Amen and blessed be. Thank you all for your participation this morning.
We take an offering each week to sustain this place that we call home and to support the work of our fellowship. If this is your first time here, please let the plate pass you by. Your presence this morning is gift enough. Thank you for coming. The offertory music today is All Creatures of Our God and King and arranged by Bobert. The offering will now be gratefully received, and we thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you to everyone, to Spoon, who was up on the chancel with me this morning, our hospitality folks who have prepared lovely coffee and snacks for us to continue conversation, for us to get to know each other better after service. Thank you to our tech team. Thank you to everybody who's watching from home. And I think Clara would like to come forward and just offer a special greeting. Did you want to come say hello to folks? Just to repeat some of my announcements from earlier, Google UU Greta Gerwig, and hooray for over-the-counter birth control, and yet go ACLU. All right, clear.
We have lots of visitors here today, so I have a request for all the people who have been coming to our church for a long time. If you see a face that you haven't seen before, please go and introduce yourself and welcome our visitors. Maybe be their buddy for the coffee hour. Show them how to sign up for our messenger if they'd like to at the back table with Tom. We very much welcome you today. I cannot believe how many visitors we have today, but we definitely welcome you, and we want to answer any questions that you might have and help in any way we can. Thank you.
We close our sacred time together when we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the chalice inside of our hearts, which serves as a beacon of hope, emboldened by its blaze. We are reminded that our strength as prophetic and powerful people is found when we come together at San Gabriel, which is here in Georgetown to stay no matter what may come our way.
All right. Coffee time.
There's no music.